Hi everyone, wherever you are in the world right now, whatever you're doing, I hope you've had an amazing Christmas. I hope you've had an amazing time. And yeah, I hope you're looking forward to New Year's. I very seldom do anything as personal as this for this account, but I just wanted to come on and say, well, just really to talk about 2022. 2022 has been a fantastic year for me. I'm so thankful for all the experiences, for everything that's happened. It's been such an action-packed, busy year. And this video is basically a quick recap of everything that's happened at Yew Cottage this year. And yeah, I'll just list it right through. So yeah, starting with January 2022, I thankfully got away on holidays. I was in the beautiful island of Gran Canaria. I absolutely love it there. It was some fantastic winter sun, long overdue given everything that's happened the last couple of years. It was great to get away for the first time in ages. I ate too much, I drank too much, I partied too much, but it was fantastic. So yeah, February 2022 then, came home, was thinking, right, this is great. You know, the evenings might be starting to get a bit longer, the weather will hopefully improve, and boom, there was two storms. Storm Eunice was one of them. It wiped out part of my Rowan tree, which fell down in our garden. It completely blitzed and destroyed my Eucalyptus tree, which then had to come out later in the season. So I was gutted about that, but it is what it is. So yeah, that takes us straight into March then. I was hoping March was going to improve, that March was going to be like this fantastic month, but no, lots of frost, was still very cold. I had my polytunnel up and running at this point, and I was, you know, getting so optimistic and jumping the gun, and I was just starting seed sowing flat out. And also in March, I started my new venture of vegetable growing. So I got my new vegetable raised bed installed. That was great, and got it filled with topsoil, and that just got, you know, the cogs in motion to get stuff done with that. That brings us into April then. April was fantastic for light levels, but it was still very dry. There wasn't much rain this April, and that was kind of what I was needing. I was kind of needing like some rain for April, May. It just didn't happen. It was a very dry but very cold period from January right up to May this year. Yeah, the light levels had improved. I was doing lots in the garden. I was just getting out. I was getting proactive. Sun was shining. I got to make lots of planted containers for the Adelphi Hotel in Portrush and went with a really cool pastel theme, and it was really great to be involved with that. Also in April, I got the opportunity to volunteer at the Antrim Castle Gardens, the new mechanical garden that Dermot Gavin and Paul Smith installed, and I done that with my friend Una and Conrad from That Botany Guy, and that was a fantastic experience. It was great to meet Paul in person, it was great to meet Dermot, and it was great to volunteer and just take part in something that's so close to my home, and it's really great that, you know, the Antrim Borough has invested so heavily in the grounds there. So yeah, May was a fantastic month. It was action-packed as well. It was still really cold. I managed to get my eucalyptus tree out. I managed to get my new hot border topped up with some topsoil, and that was great because I was able to get more plants into there. That was previously, as I've mentioned before, my wildflower border, which is now becoming a hot theme border. So it was great just to get that all topped up with topsoil. And then in May, I started that interview for a television show that will come up later in this video. But yeah, that was when that whole process started, and I had to stay really quiet about that and not disclose it, so it was mad keeping that to myself. Also in May, I was very privileged that the Fermanagh Garden Society were able to come up and visit me. This was the first time ever I've done a garden visit, especially of the scale. There was 50 people came in total. It was absolutely just the most crazy action-packed day. This bus pulled up outside my house. It was so action-packed that we forgot to take any photos or anything, so I don't even have anything to show for that. But yeah, it was great that those guys were able to come up and they really enjoyed themselves. I was just slightly gutted that the garden wasn't as further forward than what it should have been, just given that it had been quite a cold May, but nonetheless everybody had a great day and it was great to have everybody over. That takes us into June, and June was another crazy month. Lots happened in June. So I had my second tour in June. The Paradise Garden Club came up from County Down. It was great to have those guys over. They were all such fun and brought such lovely things. So guys, again, you are always welcome. That was a fantastic day, and yet again, so busy, so action-packed. Nobody took a photograph. I managed to get some drone footage taken of the garden in June, and that was a fantastic experience. It was just great to see Yew Cottage from bird's eye view down. So yeah, really good to see that. My best friend got married and she looked absolutely fantastic, and that was just the best day. So that was absolutely fab. And Lily's puppies at this point were walking, their eyes were open, everything was crazy. We had chicks, we had pups. I was gardening flat out, I was growing vegetables. Yeah, June was just that sort of chaotic month, but fantastic. July was just a month full of maintenance. So obviously at this point, my interview stages with a certain television show had got slightly further, and I knew that I had a filming date commencing that was meant to be the end of July, which actually sort of shoved over into the start of August. I was doing lots of pond maintenance, I was doing lots of garden maintenance, I was just deadheading frantically. There was a heat wave in the south of England and I was panicking that that was going to come over my direction. So I was getting really flustered at that point. I was just stretching myself beyond belief. So yeah, July was just maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. So yeah, that takes us into the month of August and I can finally talk about it. Garden of the Year, More4. Zoe Ball was here, Minaj Malde was here, Lachlan Ray was here, a full film crew of like approximately 40 people was here standing in my garden. Just the best day, just the best experience, and I couldn't fault it at all from interview stage way back in May right up until the day itself. And yeah, it was just mad. The drone footage had actually been taken a week before, so a lot of people don't know that, and then it was all pieced together, so it was actually filmed in 2 separate days. But yeah, I was so pleased when it aired on television how well it looked. And yeah, as I said, the team absolutely brilliant. Everybody was brilliant. I loved every second of it. Still can't process that experience has happened. And yeah, the rest of August then, I had grown lots of pumpkins. They were in full fruition. My tomatoes were in full fruition. I was making TikTok pasta. I had so much veg. I had never experienced veg growing on the scale before. So yeah, September then started off with my hot border looking absolutely lush. It was stunning. David Maxwell came up and we done a small sequence piece for BBC Radio Ulster. Always great to see David, and it's always great to be part of something that's so big within the garden community here in Northern Ireland. So that was great. That was just a recap again of Garden of the Year. And then later on that month, I got to do a similar recap with Rita Fitzgerald from UTV, the Pamela Ballantyne show. Lovely to meet her. That was just such an action-packed morning, and given the time restraints we managed to knock something out fairly quickly. But yeah, it was such a fun, busy morning, so great to meet her. That brings us into the autumn months then. October started off with lots of rainfall, more rain than I was expecting for October. Great to see given how dry the year had been, but a lot of water had fallen in a short space of time. I got my water butt installed, or one of hopefully many to come water butts, so that's great. I'm planning to be more water sustainable throughout 2023. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's just so rewarding having water that you know has just been harvested from the sky and you're not having to turn on a tap for it, and I'm getting my family really involved in that, and I think they're really loving the whole process that, you know, suddenly rainwater actually could be a commodity. So yep, hopefully going forward there's going to be lots more water butts. That's going to be a fantastic thing. At this point, Poppy and Ellie was getting big and bad, so from Lily's puppies my family decided to keep 2 more. So Poppy and Ellie had officially joined our family at this point, and yeah, it turns out they like cucumber and they just get their wee noses and everything, and they're just so badly behaved, but we all love them to bits. And then I was very privileged again to meet up with the Fermanagh Garden Society at the end of October. They welcomed me as a guest speaker at the Kelly Haviland Hotel in Fermanagh, and yes, great just to catch in with them again. Catch up, and hopefully we'll have another visit arranged for 2023. So thank you guys for inviting me to that. Yeah, November is just a maintenance month for me, so the tunnel got a quick tidy up. I got my new bench installed in the tunnel, and I have got new support beams now put onto the tunnel. That was a very early Christmas present and a very much appreciated Christmas present, so I was really glad of that. There's going to be amazing things done in the tunnel going forward, so I hope you all look forward to that. And yeah, November is also the month I put up the Christmas tree, because if I don't do it in November, I never have any time. So yeah, I know I'm always kind of that early bird and people are like, oh my goodness, your tree's up. But yeah, I just need to do it because I'm doing so much else throughout November, December. So December then, that brings us into wreath season. Yet again, thank you to everybody who pre-ordered. It honestly is so much appreciated. As much as it's a big logistical nightmare for me to do, I actually do love doing it, even though sometimes I really get in my headspace about it. And then another job I always do religiously in December is I like to make some winter containers. This is usually for my grandparents' graves, and yeah, I take great pride in this. I just always like something very clean, very sympathetic, and very neutral, but you know, done with a bit of elegance. So that's another job I do throughout December. Okay guys, that's it from me. That is my full 2022 condensed, and I think I've remembered everything. I think I've remembered to thank everybody, but if I haven't, thank you so much for everybody that gets in contact with me, that reaches out to this account, that supports me, that gets involved. My very supportive family that have to tolerate me being such a control freak and taking full control over everything outside of this house. My very supportive other half who never gets to see me because I'm so involved in this garden. My very supportive friends who again never get to see me because I'm so involved in this garden. yeah, my work colleagues that have to just listen to me talk about this garden. So yeah, thank you to everybody that supports this, that reaches out, that gets in contact. It honestly means so much. To think that I only started this account 2 years ago, really just as something to get me through kind of those rough couple of years that we were all going through. I can't believe it's even got to this point. So yeah, I'm just so grateful. So wherever you're at in the world, I hope you have a fantastic New Year's. All the best. Bye.